You just hit a girl unprovoked. You think I'm gonna let you go somewhere and you put your hands on her? You think I'm gonna show her that that is okay? I'm not gonna front. I know I have good kids. I know my kids, for the most part, are really well behaved. They're easy to watch. They don't really cause a lot of trouble outside of our home. But inside of our home, it's a whole nother issue. Sometimes your kid is the one that need to be checked. Your kid is the one that's the possible bully. And what are you gonna do about that? The other day, one of my closest friends was having his 40th birthday party. We were supposed to drive down and go to this basketball game, and my son was supposed to hang out with his son. It was supposed to be this easy day, family day type thing, right? But on the way out the door, I heard my daughter screaming, crying, right? And so they're all standing next to the car. She's crying, and my oldest is kind of looking like, obviously something happened. So I said, what happened, right? So my oldest goes, I made a mistake and hit her. And I was like, you made a mistake and hit her? That's interesting. I said, what did you hit her with? He said, my elbow. I said, you made a mistake and hit your sister with your elbow? How did that happen? He said it was an accident. Show me what happened. You know what I'm saying? Well, he's like, well, she was in front of the door and I did like this. And, I just, she was just kind of in the way. And I was like, it seemed like you did it on purpose. She was in your way. You wanted to get into the door. She wouldn't move. And you elbowed her in her face. And he was like, well, yeah. Right. And my sons and my daughter kind of know that they can't really outsmart me yet. Like, I don't believe them. You know what I mean? Just because they say something, it's not something that I do. I just take their word for it. It just doesn't happen that way. I was like, well, where's your self-control, son? I was like, the whole thing is that you need to control yourself because I can't control you. She can't control you. You know what I mean? Like, Anaya, you shouldn't have been in the way, but you need to be able to control yourself. What happened? You can't control yourself? And he was like, he was just like, he just started looking and feeling bad. And this is where the emotions can take over, and some parents can get real soft, or some parents can be a little overbearing. So I had to check myself and kind of take a beat. And I was like, okay, well, we're all supposed to leave and go down to the city. How can I trust you to go if you can't even control yourself in front of your sister? Like, you can't even not hit your sister. Are you going to beat up the people at the party? And he was like, no. And I was like, okay, well, I gave him a task to do, a very difficult task. And I said, well, if you can't do this real quick, he had to take out the trash. And since we're on a farm, you can't just take out the trash. You got to take it and walk it up a hill and put it into a dumpster. It's a pretty far walk. I was like, if you can't take this thing up here, by the time your mom gets up to the top of the trash can, you can't go. And he almost made it. He got up there, and then by the time he got the trash up there, because he was dragging it, all the trash was all over the floor, and all his brothers and his sister was out there helping him put the trash into the trash can so he could go, which was irritating because I'm like, yo, he just elbowed you in the face. Why are you helping this man? But it just shows the compassion that the kids have. Way more mature than I would have been at that age. If you didn't do it in time, you got to stay home with me. I'm not going to go to the party, and you're not going to go hang out with your friend. He went in his room and he cried. All right. I lost out on being able to celebrate 40 years with my homie, and my son missed out on being with his friend. But there's something really important here, because it's like, I'm not going to sit up here and have the time of my life while your character is spiraling. We sometimes can prioritize life over character. I'm one of them type of parents that the earth will stop if I see something, right? If I see something that's like, oh, this can develop into a habit, because normally it's like, bro, we're all headed out. We all have plans. We're all dressed. We're all ready to go. He knows that he could probably just get away with this. You know what I'm saying? And I could just not pay attention, and I could just be like, well, we'll deal with it later. Like, no, we dealing with this right now. You're going to sit in your room. You're going to read. You're going to write. Like, we are not doing anything until this behavior is out of your system. You need to apologize to your sister, apologize to your mother, apologize for both of your brothers for being late. You got to sit in this. I want you to feel it. And I think he thought I was playing, because during the day he's like, oh, well, can I watch TV? And I'm like, no, you can't watch nothing. I heard him playing with his little basketball hoop behind his door. I was like, you can't play nothing. You sit, you think, because you just hit a girl unprovoked. You elbowed a girl unprovoked. If you do that outside of this house, it's going to be a real problem for you. You know what I mean? And I had to tell him too, like, I'm trying to take a really peaceful route and helping him think about what his actions may lead to. When I was a kid, after we did something like that, we just got beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, the behavior was checked immediately, and we cried on the way to the event. If you show certain characteristics and certain behaviors, like, I can't reward that, especially when it comes to like protecting the people around you. Like, you're the oldest, that's your little sister. You think I'm gonna let you go somewhere and you put your hands on her? You think I'm gonna show her that that is okay? No, absolutely not. You get nothing. You get nothing. You sit in that, and I'm gonna be bored, and you're gonna be bored, and we both gonna look stupid together. I do know that sometimes it's not other people's kids. Sometimes your kid is the bully. Sometimes your kid is the problem. And it's your responsibility to take care of that, right? Like, I shouldn't have to go out in society and correct other children's behavior. Like, you should be able to take care of your own kid so that when we all come out and play, everybody's playing in a way that benefits the entire community. You know what I mean? It's so weird when sometimes we'll get around kids and it's kind of like we look at them, we look at the parents, we look at the behavior, and then sometimes the parents are like, hey, remember that? You know what I'm saying? Like, when your kid was that age? No, I don't. I don't remember that. That didn't happen like that, because I checked it before it went out the door. You know what I'm saying? As soon as those type of behaviors happen where a child lose control of themselves, like, it's really important for us to step in and correct the behavior. And I don't care how uncomfortable it makes us look. Like, we have to correct the behavior.